those two handlers, and hopefully she will get a lead to the post as well. So I definitely feel so. I don't know about you, but the quality has gone up. Just visually looking at them, they look a better bunch.
Well, you look at some of these that, you know, the money they made as yearlings. Music Academy, 600,000. Thursday Girl, 240,000. Yeah, I think that the level has increased a bit. The pedigrees have probably progressed a little bit as well from what we've seen earlier on.
What did you particularly like in the paddock?
Looks-wise, I quite like Thursday Girl. Black Chiffon, unfortunately, was just... I don't know whether her head was scrambled, particularly by going on a racecourse for the first time, but obviously she wears the hood. She just looked very green and backward in the parade ring.
It seemed to happen suddenly, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It did. It's almost like she reached those lads around the side with the pint glasses or the pint pots and thought, I don't like them. And that was it. Maybe it was the big screen. I don't know. Maybe she didn't like seeing herself on that. Chimes of Thunder, I think, is a nice filly for going forward. I'm not sure about today, but certainly a filly I quite liked paddock-wise.
British EBF Quidhampton Maiden Filly Stakes. He's over, bang on half of the field, all making their debuts. Not the case with Tahalal, who is 2-1 and well back to put her experience, I should say, to good use. 4-1 Black Chiffon, misbehaving a bit in the paddock, showing greenness. 11-2 Too Hot to Tango. Music Academy 6-1. 7-1 and fairly significantly drifting, having opened at 4-1 as Queen's Companion. Thursday Girl 17-2. 12 Chimes of Thunder, like her profile. Betty Lemon is 28-1 and 80-1 Violet Goldsmith with Real Gold 300-1, having tripled in price and a similar price to what she was on her debut. Right, it's a really intriguing race, the British EBF Quidhampton Maiden Filly Stakes. Hopefully be loaded fairly swiftly and we can make up a bit of time. Here's Sam and Lydia.
104 days since we've seen Tahalal. You mentioned, Sam, that you were really taken with her second to Fitzella at Haydock on debut, but it looked like she found the whole experience of Royal Ascot just far too much in the Albany.
Yeah, I sort of tried to make a case for her that day, and you know, just purely on a price perspective, with Fitzella being much shorter in the market, and she just kept drifting and drifting and drifting as if she was very much a social runner. I don't know whether that was the case or not, but
she didn't take the preliminaries very well.
No, and yeah, ran accordingly. But I think in contrast today, the fact that she is so strong in the market, she's had 3 months off, she's very tight in the market. She was allowed to drift a little bit, but as we get close to post time, she's tightening up all the time. So I would take that as I'd almost rather back her at 2-1 than 5-1, if that makes any sense. If you were going to play in the race, because you'd want to see her being strong in the market after that break.
And particularly for her third start as well, and clearly her price tag and her pedigree suggests that she should be very competitive in this. I felt the same about Black Chiffon in terms of her pedigree. She's the broader family is from the Middle Park winner, has the Middle Park winner Reckless Abandon in it. In general, I thought it was a likely pedigree for the task today, and she seemed to be taking the preliminaries really well, and then suddenly she wasn't.
Yeah. And I suppose with inexperienced horses that can happen very quickly, can't it? Just creep upon you, and that was certainly the case with her. I mean, she hasn't drifted scarily, but it wouldn't necessarily encourage you to back her. But she was a nice looking type, and she was taking all the prelims very well until that point.
Tahalel is 7-4 now. Black Chiffon is 4-1. Too Hot to Tango 11-2. Music Academy 6s. Queen's Companion is drifting 15-2. 9-1 bar. Of the others, you like Thursday Girl. I understand that. It's a really good family. All of the siblings, half siblings, all of them, none of them are by Pinatubo, have won. This is a really talented family.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And I think Too Hot to Tango as well. I could certainly see her running a big race again. You know, we've seen that almost the theme of the day has been experience in these races. She's got that in spades. She had 2 good runs. Wasn't over enamoured with her run last time out, but the debut effort at Newbury was really encouraging.
Last one to go forward. That's Sean Richard.
So, all set. Music Academy is restless in stall 8, pouring at the ground and getting a very upset in stall 8, Music Academy. Next door rider trying to help, but I think we're going to bail out. Ed Greatrex there, and Music Academy, they will try and back her out of the stalls, I think. So, doesn't look as if Music Academy is definitely out. Just see if they want to look at stall 7, Betty Lemon. No, I don't think they do. So they're often racing. They went without Music Academy, who got upset in the starting stalls. The other horses leave the stalls with Tahalel cutting out the early running. Tahal in company with Chimes of Thunder. Down the outside, Queen's Companion in the scarlet sleeves. Too Hot to Tango on the inside in black and white of Thursday Girl, who is in 5th place. Then in 6th is Black Chiffon with a length back to Violet Goldsmith. The green colours of Betty Lemon. And last of all is Real Gold. So Chimes of Thunder and Tahalel lead them through the first quarter mile, with Queen's Companion on the outside in 3rd. Too Hot to Tango and Thursday Girl complete the chasing wave. Then the pale blue colours of Black Chiffon towards the outside of Violet Goldsmith, Betty Lemon, and still at the back is Real Gold. So passing the halfway stage shortly, Chimes of Thunder, Tahalel poised in 2nd place in the silver jacket. Too Hot to Tango, Queen's Companion, and Thursday Girl next. Black Chiffon makes ground towards the centre of the racecourse. The pace has lifted, and that's found out Real Gold at the back. So 2.5 furlongs to go. Chimes of Thunder with Tahalel. Queen's Companion, Too Hot to Tango, pushed along. Still gathered up is Black Chiffon back in the field, and pulled towards the outside is Betty Lemon. It's Tahalel who's moved through to lead with 1.5 furlongs to go. Chimes of Thunder, Too Hot to Tango on the inside. All the time Black Chiffon and Queen's Companion are making ground down the centre. Thursday Girl is switched. Too Hot to Tango down the outer comes Black Chiffon with a run to challenge Black Chiffon to Too Hot to Tango, and Black Chiffon, Oisin Murphy again. Black Chiffon beat Too Hot to Tango. Racing in 3rd was Tahalel, just ahead of Queen's Companion.
That's a treble on the day so far for Oisin Murphy, riding for Andrew Balding, and Black Chiffon has finished with a rare rattle at 4-1, and that's a really good performance from her on her debut, belying her increasingly green behaviour in the paddock today. Too Hot to Tango is 2nd for David Egan and Julia Morrison, and 3rd was Tahalel on her 3rd start for Sean Levy and Richard Hannon. But Black Chiffon, she had the pedigree for it. I was inclined to believe until she started acting up.
Yeah, that was a problem. You know, you can have too much information in this game, and that was probably the case. I do wonder whether it is a little bit of an advantage to challenge down the middle of the track today rather than over on that far rail. I don't know, but you know, it's not as if Too Hot to Tango hasn't run a smashing race over on that far rail, but just down the middle of the track just seems to be worth a length or two, I think. I thought it was a really taking performance. Nice introduction from the rider as well, beating a horse that's already got plenty of experience, and I thought he gave her a lovely lovely intro into racing life.
Yeah, and she's done this nicely. As I mentioned beforehand, she's got a very likely pedigree for the task, and she was able to do it. She's just rolled a little bit right. She can be forgiven that in the closing stages, but she's come right past Too Hot to Tango, and this is Too Hot to Tango running much more like her debut at Newbury than last time at Ascot.
Yeah, it was. It was a really encouraging effort from her.
Was it because of how she was ridden, do you think? She was ridden more prominently at Ascot last time. Maybe this is a better way of putting her into the race?
Yes, absolutely. And, you know, she's picked up quite readily and looks as though one of these sort of races will be hers for the safekeeping, really, unless they want to go the handicap route. But Tahalel's had every chance. Maybe she's a bit ring rusty after a 3-month absence, but she travelled well enough into the race. Maybe she wants to go back to 6. There could be that as a possible option for them.
It's so hard to tell, isn't it? Because the Dams family is sort of 9 furlongs right up to 2 miles, and yet the sire is Blue Point, so it's a real mixed messages. So sadly, Music Academy sort of freaked in the stalls a bit, and her stable companion, Queen's Companion, didn't enjoy the wide burst. She went out to the left and she had a wide trip throughout.
She ran really well, though. I thought she ran really well. You know, did the old age debutant thing and dived left out the stalls with nothing to her left, and was trapped wide a little bit. But, you know, she was pretty professional through the race, and just a lack of condition and experience probably told. But it was a fair enough effort from her as a starting point.
Both the winner and Too Hot to Tango were able to get cover. I think ideally Tom Marquand would have had cover on Chimes of Thunder because she was a little bit keen in the early stages, but Sean Levy wasn't for obliging on Tahalel.
No, and why would you? You know, he got a nice lead into the race. He's sat second. They've got a steady enough gallop, and the tempo looks as though it's picked up at halfway, looking how 1 or 2 of them have come off the bridle. One of the first off the bridle was Thursday Girl, and I thought she might drop out the back of the telly at this point. But if you just note late on, she is hitting the line quite strongly. I thought that was an encouraging first run for her.
Yeah, just angling out on the right-hand side is Betty Lemon as well, who's done a lot better than she did. She's quite comfortably held, don't get me wrong, but she sticks on to the line in a way that suggests that she has learnt something for the first time out. The only thing I would say, that bar for Real Gold, who I will come back to, they've finished in a bit of a clump, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. And you can get seduced into thinking, oh, well, that's stayed on quite nicely, that's run a nice race, and sometimes you end up, you know, making excuses for 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th and following them over a cliff later down the line. But as a group, they looked a better group in the paddock than we'd seen so far this afternoon, and, you know, the winners won snugly. I think it looks a fair race of its grade. Yeah.
The one that faded late was Violet Goldsmith, and Real Gold, who's the horse I said that I'm interested in next year onwards, has been outclassed, which I kind of expected, but I still think it's the kind of profile that's going to be really underestimated, I think. And just if you look at the pedigree, the likelihood that this horse has got no ability is small.